better than the week before.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Hang on, can't multitask. Can't type at the best of times. It works. Oh, look at that.
Dare I say, look at what?
Oh, yeah. So, this week has involved a new laptop. It finally arrived.
Kind of quicker than expected, really.
Well, given worldwide shortages of everything silicon related, yes. Clearly they had plenty of stock of the base units, and all they really had to do was open it up and jam some more memory in it.
You could solve a lot of the world's problems that way. If only it worked on humans.
Yeah. How do you, when it comes to humans, how would you make sure that you were jamming good memory in, not bad? Anyhow, that might be related to the velocity with which you were jamming it, perhaps.
Yeah.
Something about there's always time for lubricant.
That's what she said.
It's a quote out of a movie. I don't even know which movie it is. We've got to go in. There's no time for lubricant. There's always time for lubricant.
Suppose we could look it up.
I suppose. I have this thing called the internet. So it's about building up the software installation on the new laptop to be equivalent to what it was replacing. And
Evolution.
getting it all right. And so new laptops don't come with USB-A ports anymore. They all come with USB-C ports.
Yeah.
Well, all of my external stuff is all USB-A because I've had it, for long periods of time.
More than a couple of years.
Yeah, so I had to go and get some adapters. I couldn't get hubs because I'm already at the downstream hub limit for the two of the cameras that are running on this desk. You're not allowed to be more than 5 hops away. And of course there's a hub inside the computer, so that already takes 1 hop away. So getting the adapters, then getting it all set up, and it turns out Windows 11 doesn't get along with my old NAS. And it's an old NAS, and it was shitty when I bought it. It wasn't very good. It's never been very good. It's done the job it's been required to do, but literally only just. And this was, one upgrade too far. So I had to go out and get another NAS and another couple of drives. And then copying, I don't know, it was about 500 gig, I suppose, from one NAS to the other. And that literally took 18 hours because old NAS is shitty.
Ouch.
So we've only just finished that procedure. I'm in the process of updating was in the process of updating my network drive mappings. I've now got to do that to one other computer. It's another one of those things. We had visitors around last night. It was Joe's eldest 37th birthday. So he and his family and Joe's parents were here last night. So I got nothing done last night.
Oh dear.
There we go.
7. The movie was Orlando Jones in Evolution.
Right. See, sometimes I don't make this shit up. Sometimes.
Yeah. Well, that's human culture right there. It's
Yep.
across the board. It's copying from someone else.
That's it. 100%. So this is what we end up with from the results of last week's live stream, which I think are very colourful, very characterful.
Yeah, I like
but
it.
as we pointed out, fucking yellow. So her comment when I showed her was, "Why did you have to do the yellow? The purple's great." So there is such a thing as predictable. In the meantime, because just because I painted these guys, so and we did these guys with the white helmets, just for a change.
Grant comments that they're not dwarves.
They're not.
No, they're not.
1879. And nobody says it quite the way Matty says it.
Well, I said it that way once, and then I've been using the recording ever since.
Oh, I know, but it's great.
British Line Infantry is what they are.
British Line Infantry in pith helmet.
Game.
Packet A, if you want to be really specific, from the 1879 range. So what are we doing today, Dan? Well, I'm glad you asked. Given I've had zero time to prepare, I've been flat out at a new job, and we had birthday party here last night. We're just continuing on my work in progress pile, I'm afraid, because I am not organised. So
That's fair enough.
We're going to do these guys, which are epic scale British Napoleonic Line Infantry.
Oh, quick, shut off the stream. Don't let Ross see this. We'll come out with another game.
It's not a game so much as another miniature manufacturer.
Oh, there's the push to talk button. Yeah, well, maybe. But like Napoleonic 1879.
What's the difference? 1815 to 1879.
Yeah.
Well, my intention is to use a version of the Demon World rules to play. So there you go.
And Ross says, why not? Wrong. Oh, yeah, Ross.
I have a stack more feeble excuses as to why I'm not painting something else. We just don't need to go there.
Mind you, a change is as good as a holiday. I rediscovered this week.
And what did you change?
Oh, I painted some critical mass.
Yeah, see, I could have done that too if had I been even slightly more organised.
Well, what's organised anyway? I stayed up 2 hours later than I intended to last night waiting for primer to dry.
Right.
That's not organised.
Oh, that's sacrificial.
You get to the end of painting up a unit and I'm like, what have I got left to paint that's primed? Oh, the dragon. No, do something else.
Yeah, it's still intimidating you, is it?
Yeah, well, I haven't really settled on a exact plan of attack for it.
One
I got a
paintbrush
bunch of
stroke at a
paints
time.
yes. I got a bunch of paints I want to use, and not a good plan on how to use them.
Right. I would suggest not knocking them over is probably a good start.
No, Grant, I'm not going to get a giant spider.
Is Grant aware of your arachnophobia?
Apparently so.
Right.
I did go nuts with a can of Raid this time yesterday.
Can of Raid.
Good old can of Raid. Too many spiders, not enough me space.
So I gave my first architectural presentation at the new place yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Crap, I got a cough.
Good, bad, indifferent. Good, I presume.
Went really, really well. They listened, they were attentive, they understood. There was debate, there was good debate, and there was acceptance of direction and things like that. It was just the kind of way that I'd always imagined a software architecture presentation to go. Sadly, I've been working at a company for a significant period of time that didn't get it. So, as I pointed out to Claire yesterday, I don't completely suck at it. Who knew? Just when you're told something so often for so long, you start to believe it. So.
Yeah, I suppose so.
And I was the one, mate.
It is good, really.
Yeah.
I mean, they hired you to do a job, and they're going to let you do it instead of not.
Actively preventing me from doing it.
Yeah, that's counterproductive. I guess you can get away with that more in a big company. I don't know why, but yeah, jeez.
Makes no sense to me. Never made any sense to me, but then plenty of things about that previous place baffled me. But anyhow, it was just Joe was sort of taken aback because I sort of walked in the door at the end of the working day with a smile on my face. That's been a pretty rare thing.
Yeah. Which is a sad thing to admit.
Yeah, it is really. It's been a vast percentage of your waking hours in these places. Why shouldn't you be fulfilled?
I'm sure there's a theory of management that would argue that the money that you receive in exchange is your fulfillment.
Oh boy.
But that gets in the way of what Grant suggests in hire smart people and get out of their way. Which is, common sense for that sort of work.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really need smart bricklayers. You just need ones who can breathe through their nose. Someone who doesn't mind mind-numbing routine and back-breaking labour.
Yeah, but that you also want bricklayers who are going to thrive on a job well done. Like it is back-breaking work, but there's still pride in the end result. If you've got a bricklayer that doesn't give a shit, you're still going to end up with a shit result. But yeah, I like what Grant said there. Hire smart people enable them get out of their way.
Kind of defeats the purpose of management, which is probably why they don't get out of the way.
Management's the
Silly
wrong
ones.
word. You don't manage. You enable and you support. Yeah, there might need to be direction calls made and anything like that, but at that point you're just an umpire. You're not,
Yeah.
people get into management, they get it into their heads that they're a dictator. No, you're not.
Facilitators, not managers.
Yeah, manage is the wrong word. It's but anyhow, like getting up in the morning, looking forward to going somewhere, to doing good work. Such a revelation.
I'm very happy for you.
Yeah, well, it probably won't last. We'll see.
God. Well, then enjoy it while you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Right, there's the front, now the back. This is really going to be tedious for anybody watching it.
Well, that's why we're here, all to spice up the conversation.
So, what did you prime to avoid your dragon?
A unit of Dark Elf Serpent Archers.
Oh, nice.
They are very nice, actually. So far, they've come in a packet of 24, so I've got more to do as well. Instead of the purple accent that I've been using on the rest of my Dark Elves, I'm going to use one of my new greens.
Nice. And
Maybe
presumably that ties
2 of
into the
3 of
name
them.
Serpent.
Yeah, something to do with serpents. I mean, the snakes come in brown as well, but that'd be boring.
And black.
Well, that too.
And red.
Got enough of those colours on the models already.
And, dare I say, fucking yellow.
The leader looks like he's wearing a cobra's head on his hat, so...
Right. That's a cobra! Oh, worst dead joke in the world.
Count to 10 and sigh.
Sorry. Can't believe I just cracked myself up with that. Dear oh dear.
Symptom of oh, you're stealing Grant's thunder. I reckon this is where the Google Glass invention would have come in handy.
Why?
To have a feed of, the chat projected into your goggles.
Right.
While you do other things.
That's a very good idea, Matty. Didn't it all die a death?
Yeah, it's still a commercial use application platform thing. And no doubt they'll make an attempt to reintroduce it at some point in the future, because augmented reality glasses are just too sci-fi to not. Too attainable sci-fi. But yeah, it's not a private use thing. Hasn't been for years because of privacy concerns. Maybe there's a problem with, taping a smartphone to your eyeball or something.
Yeah.
I mean, my phone is theoretically virtual reality capable through Samsung's VR platform. But I'm not going to hold the screen up 3 millimeters away from my eyes to do it.
No. You could
Got
get
quite
those
enough
cardboard
vision
cutout
problems as it
things
is.
that you could put your phone into once upon a time.
Yeah, they discontinued the Google Cardboard thing in 2019. I looked this up because I had a pristine set of them come through the salvos one day. Oh, it's good. It's expensive. We can sell this for a high price online.
No.
No, you can't. They discontinued it years ago. Good luck with that.
It is now useless. Into the trash it goes.
Unfortunately, Nintendo's done the same with their own cardboard toy line as well, which my brother really loved, actually. He went very heavily in on that.
I remember an old pirate game where you got these, they're almost like trading card packet sized things, and they had credit card sized sheets of plastic in them, and you punched the little pieces out and stuck them together to make three-dimensional models of sailing ships and things. And you got little mini dice in them, and there were rules for moving them around on small sections of a table and fighting battles and stuff like that. And I had quite a bit of it, and I don't know where it went, and I'm very sad about it because you can't get it anymore.
I've never seen nor heard of any of that before. That's pretty cool.
It was all pirate themed, but it's a collectible style game. I can't remember what it was called. Feeling a bit like Barlam and Butterbear at the moment. Can't remember my own name unless people shout it at me.
Whatever you say, Frederick.
Baldrick.
Well, it might be sawed off.
People tell you to sod off all the time. Why don't they tell you to sod on?
I don't know. Let's ask Clay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So if they tell you to sod off all the time, why don't they ask you to sod on?
Yeah.
Presumably because if they're telling you to sod off, they don't want you to sod on.
Probably, but what is sodding anyway?
It's a bit of grass, isn't it? Like a golf course divot.
Yes. How's the weather up there? Is it flooding?
No, it's stunning. It's like 33 or something and still and sunny.
Wow.
Same here. All the rain went away on Monday, Tuesday.
It all came down here.
Again.
Yep.
Hasn't it been flooding down there constantly for weeks?
Yeah, a couple of weeks. We had ridiculous rain yesterday.
Yeah, right.
There's video up of the Maroondah Dam spillway running. And I don't know if you saw, but I posted pictures and video of the Dandenong Creek retarding basin flooding.
No, I didn't see it.
That's on
Right.
Facebook.
Yeah.
That'll be up again today. Yeah, a lot of water, road washouts, all sorts of stuff. I remember as a kid that spring was always wet and windy, but maybe not quite this wet.
It has been a pretty wet year.
It has. You guys started it. It's just trendy now. I'm grateful for the fact that I don't have 7 metres of water in my backyard, though.
Yo, that would be a problem for you.
It would be. It would be, considering there's a dozen houses downhill of us. It would be a real problem. I'd be out there building an ark as quickly as I could.
Yeah, with 7 meters of water, I'd be trying to build an ark or something.
Yeah.
Maybe silicon the car doors.
Yeah. That's it.
Got a sunroof.
Yeah. So, that sunroof is now a conning tower.
Should just unbolt your shed from the slab and then
It's just float away. Yeah, sadly, I watched them put it together. It ain't going to float very long.
Well, you had to go steel framed.
That wasn't my choice. You have to be H-rated. Building regulations in windy places.
See, it's all the government's fault.
Always. So what's happening today, Glee?
Not a lot. I'm cruising into my long weekend.
Fabulous. So you did take the Monday off?
Yeah.
Great plan.
Yeah. I'm going to have a look at some minis.
Which ones?
There's a bunch. It's a deceased estate, actually.
Oh.
And there's like 3 or 4 fantasy armies. Space Marines army, some Lord of the Rings stuff, bunch of books, paints, dice, the whole lot, you know.
Cool.
So I will go see what's there, because I couldn't really make out in the photos what's there, and they're like, we don't really know. Make us an offer, we'll see what people offer.
Right.
I'm like, I'll come and have a look before I make you an offer.
So if the Lord of the Rings stuff's any good, let me know.
Yeah, well, it's hard to see. I couldn't really see any of the Lord of the Rings stuff, to be honest, but
Yeah.
it mentioned it. So, and usually they're easy to see because of the bases.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, if it's any good,
I will.
I'll chuck you some money.
Yeah. So it'd be interesting to see how much is there. And I'm really keen on the Wood Elf army.
Yeah.
Which would be cool. And
Yeah,
there's
good.
a High Elf and a Dwarf army, which is good because they'll supplement both of the ones I've got.
Yep. I've got Wood Elves.
Oh, yeah, that's right. What do they call them? Some Sylvaneth now or something?
That's it. Quite a bit of it, actually. I've even got the Queen on her beetle.
Oh, yeah, that's a cool model, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Matty, you talk about intimidation.
Yeah, that.
Oh my God. I'll finish this stick off and I'll go and get it so you can see what we're talking about.
I just had a. Oh, you've mentioned this one to me before. A long time ago. I looked at it and I thought, oh shit, yeah, I'm not getting into Warhammer.
Yeah.
God. Look at the size of that thing.
It's crazy, isn't it?
I'm reasonably sure that that thing is still in its shrink. Like, I haven't even opened the box.
It's an extra layer of protection against it.
Yep.
That's how intimidating it is.
Oh, yeah. And you see, like, from time to time, posts will pop up on Instagram where somebody will have painted one and you're looking at it going, I hate you all.
I think for a model that size, airbrush has to be king, doesn't it?
Oh, I would have said so. And how many people do you reckon have fielded it in an army? Like, put it on the table and pushed it around, broken bits off it. Mind you, the skeleton one's even worse. Like, have you seen that thing?
You mean like the tomb?
There's a. Oh, I can't think of what it's called. It's the undead army king, basically. It's a monster of a thing. It's about 9 or 10 inches high or something.
Right.
Yes. Not getting it down, but just looking from here, yes, it's still in its shrink.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it might be the case that Alariel the Everqueen
Mm-hmm.
comes with a base that is only a tiny bit smaller than one of those Chaos Titans in 40k style.
It'll be the same base, because Games Workshop just reused bases.
Apparently, it's 10 millimeters smaller.
Oh, really?
What a rip.
That's so small.
Rip off. So,
A woman standing on a bug is the same size as a multi-story war machine.
absolutely. Absolutely. There's suspension of disbelief. So I think this is what you're talking about. These.
Maybe. I've seen them only referred to as Chaos Knights.
These ones are the Imperial Knights, and you can build one up as Chaos and one as not. That's not in a shrink, but they're still all on the sprue. That was one of those impulse purchases. You know, remember Clee when Mill Sims was in walking distance of the office? I was down there one afternoon, having probably just had a depressing meeting, and it's like, oh, that looks really cool. Ka-ching. Occasionally I'll get that box down and I'll look at it and go, oh, that's really cool. Yeah, not today.
Those the 6 mil scale?
No, these are the epic Waterloo from Warlord.
No, not those. The knights.
Oh, the Knights.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're
I think so.
They're 40k models. They're
Oh, you're talking about 40k knights, not the
Yeah,
Adeptus Titanicus or whatever.
I'm talking about the 40k ones.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what scale they are.
Yeah, I haven't seen the 40k Chaos Knights.
They're pretty big.
I have the Elder one though.
$230 or something.
Oh, shit.
Each.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, those big Imperial Guard tanks are 170.
And these things are bigger than those, are they?
Well, that Everqueen model is a $200 model, so, you know.
$235 now.
That's Games Workshop rec retail, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these 40k Titans are the smaller scale of ones in the epic range.
Yeah.
So you don't get your Grand Imperators that were already a foot tall in epic.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the old armor cast Revenant Scout Titan, which stands about a foot tall in 40k. The old resin thing. They go for stupid money nowadays.
Didn't we talk about this last week, how cool the epic Titans were, particularly the Eldar ones?
Yes, the Phantom. Yeah.
Then it must be true.
Imagine having one of those Forge World 40k Phantom Titans.
Do you ever watch any of that Squidmar stuff, Clee?
Well, occasionally, to be honest, the guy really grates on my nerves.
Yeah, he's annoying. But you see that one where he put together that Tau flying thing, which is the biggest model you can get from Forge World. It's like $4,000 or something like that.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
The whole
I do know that model.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted that bloody Elder one, the giant one. Actually, there was two models. There was a troop carrier one that could hold 30 troops or something.
Hmm.
And then there was I think it was the bomber model, or something. So another model had giant guns on it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was like $700.
Yeah.
Couldn't justify it. I did buy a Void Phoenix though,
Yeah, right.
which is a nice flyer of theirs,
Yeah.
and the original Scorpion they had. I think they've got a different one now.
Very tempted at one point in time to start getting into the Bio Titans, but I didn't in the end.
Yeah.
That Hyrule is pretty cool.
That is very cool.
Oh, it's James. How are you, James? Yeah, Napoleonics.
Hmm. Hello, James. So how far away is it, Clee?
About 40 minutes or something.
Ah, okay, so not too bad.
Nah, it's just the south side of Noosa. But there's no direct, easy, quick way there.
Yeah.
So there should be a lot of back roads and avoiding Noosa itself because the Noosa Triathlon's on.
Oof.
Picked a day for it.
It's actually on tomorrow, so
Yeah, but they always block off the roads a couple days early.
yeah. And there's a friend of ours is up from Melbourne competing in it, and he said there's 9,500 entrants. That's insane, isn't it? Think about all the support people and the people they're with and
Yeah.
everyone else. That's crazy. It's
So-
just pure spectators who are there just to watch it.
So 2 support people per entrant. Ish.
It's crazy, man. Couldn't believe. And I went into Nisa yesterday for lunch, and there was bike riders and people everywhere.
Yeah, it is a little bit of a change of pace, James. It's what was on the table and ready because Dan's had a busy week with a new job.
And enforced
Uh,
change of pace.
Yeah.
Oh, and I'm making a mess of these ones.
At least the weather will be nice for the triathlon.
Yeah. If it's like today, which I assume it will be, and if it's like it is here, it'll be a pleasant temperature and pretty still. And the water's good.
Good shark weather.
The smorgasbord. In fact, it's even referred to as a sushi train.
I cannot paint epic scale while I'm laughing.
And you know the best thing about it is you're getting all the leanest of the lean guys out there.
Routine.
Keep you nice and svelte.
Yes. For that glossy shark skin.
Yeah. Nice shiny eyes.
Reckon they taste like shit though. Think about
Why,
all those protein shakes they've been drinking.
You reckon they just taste like sulfur?
Yeah.
I think they taste like shit anyway because that's why they get spat out.
Yeah. Sharks don't like the taste of people. It's like, ooh, what have I just eaten?
You are what you eat.
Who you eat if you're a cannibal.
This is true. So I refer you to the Rammstein song called Mind Tile, which one of the lines in the chorus is "You are what you eat." It's the story of Armin Maiwis, burnt branders. How the hell are you, James?
Yeah, pretty good. How about you guys?
Yeah, not too bad. Clee is stuck in purgatory. I made it out.
Yeah.
More lockdowns or just
No, we had a round
generic purgatory?
round of redundancies go through.
Oh man, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Well, you know, I was literally on the bench 2 weeks. So I've already started a new job. So I got a payout and it can sit in the bank.
That's the way to do it.
Yeah. Where did that hair go?
You'd mentioned that there'd been that was likely coming up anyway a while back, right? Or maybe I'm just imagining it.
I don't know that I've ever mentioned it on the live stream, but I kind of saw the writing on the wall in around about August. And I'd already started looking, so, you know, I was already in the cycle of interviews and agents and all that kind of stuff. When they hauled me in and said, we're letting you go, and I kept my mouth firmly shut because they said, here's a substantial sum of money. And I went, excellent.
So that almost covered the amount of money that you spent at Gen Con then on stuff.
Yes, not quite.
Have you anything to be clear? And that conversation is not between TSA or anything. It's between you and your wife.
If I'd had a larger luggage limit, then that spending at Gen Con would have been obscene. But it's the funniest story because I brought the 1879 range home with me, which was what the rest of what Studio 2 had. And it wasn't a substantial amount of stuff, but I put it in my main suitcase, and when I got to the airport, they said, "You're overweight. You're going to be paying $100 on this, unless you can take something out." So I took that bag of miniatures out and put it in my carry-on, and exactly the right weight. So I think the miniatures bag was 5 kilos or something like that. It just meant that my carry-on was deadly at that point. But,
Yeah, I don't miss those days.
no,
Trying to juggle weight limits.
no. It was easy on the way over because we're using the bags were checked in under Ross's, and he's got, lifetime gold.
Yeah, you think it'd be easier because you're flying downhill, so it shouldn't be harder.
Yep. Is Indianapolis considered at the bottom of that hill?
Lord, I don't know. Did you manage to get out and actually have a look at any of Indianapolis after night or in the evenings?
Oh, it's not.
Or was it pretty much?
It's not worth having a look at after dark.
Oh no, it's not. It's definitely not.
But I did get out to the speedway and did a tour around the speedway, so that was good fun. It's a pretty impressive facility.
Well, you've survived your first Gen Con, so major kudos.
I had to go to a trade show this week, so started a new job, land at the time of the year where the trade show's on, and so we're out at the exhibition centre out in Melbourne, and I'm looking around going, yeah, this is not a small building. It's probably about half the size of the exhibitor hall at Gen Con, but it had a tenth of the people in it. I was trying to relay to my colleagues just what it was like wandering around at Gen Con, sort of shoulder to shoulder.
Gen Con's nothing compared to Spiel in Germany.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's next on your list.
Right.
I used to have a fear of crowds, but not after that.
Right. You get an immunity.
You just don't have a choice. It's like it is literally a sea of people. You work out where you're going to be and where you're going. The booths are actually really good because you can get to the booths. They're not usually super busy, but when you're done with the booth, you kind of insert yourself back into the crowd and just literally go with the flow. It is an ocean of people.
Right.
I was there on a quiet year and it was about 125,000 people, I think.
Yeah, I started to break out into a sweat just thinking about that.
I think it's pre-COVID. It was I think that they'd broken 200,000 people, but so it's a whole level. But it doesn't. Well, I say it doesn't feel crowded. I mean, there is a lot of people there, but it seems a lot easier to. Maybe it's just German efficiency or something. I don't know, but it just feels easier to get around than a Gen Con. Just my opinion, but I don't know.
Yeah, there was.
It's been a while. It's been 15 years. I'm sure it's changed.
Gen Con was pure chaos at points, but it seemed to work. I managed to get down and have a look at the stadium and see what was going on out there, but otherwise it was just backwards and forwards between the booth and the demo tables.
Yep, That's how it works. The only advantage you get being on the opposite side is that you get a little bit of time beforehand, so you can go and do a little bit of shopping and stuff. And
yeah. I was the guinea pig for a number of vendors to make sure that their HEFPOS systems were working. So,
which you volunteered for by buying,
yeah, absolutely.
lots of their products, right?
I want that before the great unwasher in here taking it away so that it's sold out. So there was a couple of bits that I left in the Catalyst booth going, I'm undecided about that, I'll come back for it later. And by the time I came back later, they were all gone. I think they sold 200 and something copies of something in an hour. Box set.
Yeah, day one's usually pretty brutal.
So, never mind. Never mind.
It's fate. You just didn't really need it.
What is this need thing you speak of?
Well, if fate had determined that you could have it, then there would have been a copy there for you.
Well,
the universe was saying.
Theoretically, we're only 4 weeks away from it being in distribution in Australia, so.
There you go.
Fate is just a little delayed.
I see you've been keeping the painting up, Matty.
Yeah, I have. I enjoy it. Yeah. Well,
you mean you didn't enjoy it before?
Matty's skill level has progressed exceptionally well, and he's now turning out stuff that is every bit as good as what I produce, despite the fact that he denies this.
I think he's got a greater degree of humility. That's probably the thing.
Mm-hmm.
He said, because I can say that because you can't spank me because you're like 8,000 miles away. I'm saved by the tyranny of distance. Is Matty going, where shall I start? Oh.
It was a very deep sigh.
It was.
I'll tell you this. Clear's within driving distance, and he's a better painter than I'll ever be. So.
Clee is not within driving distance, and he's a better painter than I'll ever be. It's not the point. As I keep saying, done has a quality all of its own.
This is true. And it's also why I don't share everything I do in the Discord channel.
Neither do I. Trust me.
I only share about 1/10 of the things I paint.
I make a point of doing all of my Demon World stuff, even the stuff I don't like, but yeah.
So which Critical Mass stuff are you painting?
Oh, I pick up, you know how the Arc Fleet stuff all comes kind of separated by troop type and by pose?
Yeah.
So I bought a whole bunch of bags of the different poses of the different troop types, and then I mixed them up.
Yeah.
So that, you get running and standing and weapons and officers and stuff.
Yep.
And it turns out if you buy enough of these packets that you can get 6-figure squads, no worries.
Yep.
And you end up with a lot of them, and so I just pick out random bags.
Right.
The last lot was a squad of augments.
Okay.
Arc Fleet augments, which are heavy power armor sorts of guys.
Yep.
For those who don't know them. And they're being painted up in Australian Army camouflage style.
Oh, cool.
I love that Oscam. It looks really, really good.
Yeah, I might have to take a trip over to Enoggera Barracks and look at trucks for when I get to the tanks and jet bikes.
Unimog green.
No, they don't have that up here. It's
Yeah, really?
all it's camouflage painted.
There you go.
I saw some of the trucks rolling down the Western Freeway just the other day.
Yeah, I've seen him semi-regularly going up here to, I think they built a new base or whatever they call it out near Tin Can Bay or something.
Yeah, I think Singapore owns a fair chunk of land up there to exercise their army on.
There you go.
It'll be a very effective looking army when it's done.
Yeah, jungle camouflage, but they're all standing on brown stuff with barbed wire.
Why not?
Why not, indeed? The trees are all gone.
Someone had called in the artillery with flechette rounds.
Agent Orange. That's why they're all wearing power armor.
By this stage, it'd be, what, Agent Purple?
Agent Yellow.
Agent Yellow. Agent fucking Yellow.
Has reminded me to get the Augment Squad pictures off my phone, though.
Right. Then, to be fair, painting that stuff is a fair bit less tedious than this.
Coat of medium light green, and then splotch, splotch, splotch.
Yep.
It is a little bit messy.
But deliberately messy.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike this, which is messy dependent on how hard I'm shaking. And I'm shaking pretty hard. James, did you manage to sell all your miniatures?
Sorry, what was that?
Did you manage to sell all your miniatures?
No, I'm still working through my gamer collection. I've been systematically disposing of over the last, apart from a break, obviously, to move to Tennessee this month. But
Yeah.
yep, Dawn just put my box of Demon World miniatures down yesterday. She's been up in Ohio doing another trailer run. So,
Oh, right.
yeah, I've got a catalogue where I've gone and see what I have and haven't got, and go from there. Or I might, since winter's coming, might even get enthused and do some painting. Who knows?
There you go.
Who knows? Room is the biggest challenge, but we put a 14 by 24 foot shed on the property, so room is no longer a challenge.
How long did it take you to put that shed up? It was there one day. Oh, it wasn't there in one of your videos, and then like the next day it was there.
Yeah, it was on the plans. I was hoping to bring the barn down, the shed down that we've got in Ohio, but the cost of transporting it was just insane. Not to mention all the extra bits and bobs that you need because it's technically an overwide building. So we ended up just buying one down here. They're just pre-mades.
Okay, so just dropped off the back of the truck.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Take that, Amish.
Yeah, pretty much. Mennonites, but yeah, close enough. But yeah, it's that was always on the plan to get a machine shed because that's one end of that is where the largest solar rig is going, with all the battery racks and all the other bits and bobs. But yeah, for now, I needed the I needed to know that we had sufficient storage for everything. Because even though we're divesting a lot of stuff, you still got temporary holding areas for things and what have you. So, yeah. Anyways, long story short,
Well, yeah, you do need.
we crammed 10 days of moving into 4 days. So there you go.
I have been enjoying your videos.
I'm
I
pleased.
don't watch them every day, but I do watch a couple times a week.
Yeah, its channel's growing pretty quickly actually. Perversely, it's just broken. Well, I mean, not quickly by huge channel standards, but we broke 7,000 views today.
Wow.
Those videos on the Delta Pros are stupidly popular by general standards, I guess.
That's
We are. Oh, sorry.
That's a really, really good thing. That's
Well, it is. I mean, we're not doing it as a commercial channel. It's just a vlog of the shit that's been happening basically, and my rambles were just the social anxiety thing primarily. But it's just it just becomes kind of a process, I guess, for now. So yeah, and I kind of hope that we'll be able to look back in a few years and go, wow, we actually did get through quite a lot and got a lot done in quite a short time. Because it's kind of easy to lose our track of how much you're really doing. But we are officially off grid. Solar's working. It's supplying way more power than we need at the moment, and battery bank is doing well, and everything is basically just fallen into place. So, yeah.
stuff.
Next step is to get the fiber running though, fiber optic. So
Right.
you can't really off grid with fiber. So I did have a panic the other morning when I woke up at 4:54 or something a.m. in the morning and went to check the time on my phone and noticed that there was no cell at all. It was a small moment of panic. That was oh crap, I'm going to have to get up and drive 1 hour 7 to the office now. Goody. But thankfully it came back on again, so that's all right.
It was just a
Crisis averted.
local outage.
Yeah, we've got a tower just up the road actually. So I guess they were doing some maintenance or something.
An hour's not too bad though. Like it could be a lot worse than that.
Yeah, but it's in Nashville traffic, which is notoriously bad. It's all good until someone decides to have a fender bender and then it's just game over. So
Yep.
And the other side of it is, and I apologise for anyone who has to, drive long distances. My previous job was like an hour 15 one way. Before managed to get into the work from home gig prior to the lockdowns. But you don't realise how much time. And I know you listen to podcasts, and people listen to podcasts and stuff like that. It's not technically wasted time. You just have to capitalise on it. But it's 2+ hours a day that you could be doing other stuff. So, like painting miniatures, you can't do while you're driving unless you've worked out a patented method for that, Dan.
You'd be surprised what you see people doing in their cars while you're on the freeway. Eating cereal, reading the newspaper, things like that. Doing the makeup.
And strangely, the other ones who never get caught.
Well, yeah.
Until they cause the inevitable accident, but yeah.
Human behaviour.
Weirdly, we're in the middle of population. I mean, the entire county here is less than 16,000 people, but we actually have a really good game store in the nearest town, or the county seat. It's always busy. So, and they do 40k and role playing and Magic and the usual kind of stuff as well. Board games, they have video games for the kids and what have you. It's pretty well set up. So, not unhappy about that.
Sounds to me like you've well and truly landed on your feet.
Yeah, I did a look for just out of curiosity to see whether there was anything within spitting distance, and I thought Nashville was probably going to be the closest, but no. Turns out, well, I mean, and close is a relative thing because everywhere from here is 20-25 minutes drive, but that's no worse than being in the city. So. So I guess I just have to convince them to play Demon World and stuff.
Get them to stock it.
Get them to stock Interceptor.
Yeah, my copy's waiting for me in Ohio.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it'll still be sitting in the box.
My copy's stuck in customs in England somewhere.
Oh, seriously?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my goodness.
Presumably mine is as well, then.
Yeah, they'll be cuddled up together, Matty.
The day Interceptor got intercepted by customs. The one force no universe can conquer. Wahaha.
Mm-hmm.
Bureaucracy.
Did you ever find out why that mini order of yours got turned around?
Didn't find out why, no. And they haven't made another attempt yet, so I don't know if it's going to happen again. We think it was because it was so densely packed that the X-ray operator looked at it and went, can't tell what's in that, reject.
They're usual Stanley knives. They're entitled and able to open them up if they want.
They didn't. They just sent it back.
Path of least resistance.
Yeah.
Or least effort.
Another dose of COVID's gone through RPE, so we've been short-staffed again this week.
They just can't catch a break with that, can they?
But the vaccines were supposed to prevent that.
What shows have you been listening to?
That's the official story.
Fauci never said that ever, and you can't prove that he ever did.
And we can start sending you links.
Oh, you can say it all you want, but he denies it now.
Oh yeah. I mean it doesn't. Yeah. No, I'm not. I'm being entirely facetious, but also
yeah, we know.
As am I.
So is Matty. That's why it's funny. You guys were lampooning both ends of the argument, which is great.
For a second there, I thought I got trolled by Matty. I was like,
Yeah, no. No. Yeah.
Jedi mind tricks and all that. No, geopolitically, new world, new day, new stupidity. But the miniatures will still be there.
Yep. We hope. I've got too many things to do, sadly. It's a whole bunch of time frames that I had laid out for a whole bunch of things that have just gone whistling by. Which is pretty unfortunate.
I wonder what the historical war games of 50 years from now will look like when they're reporting on this day and age. Or not reporting, recreating this day and age.
Well, I've got a brand spanking new copy of Twilight 2000, 4th edition, sitting in a box. And thinking, I can play this in real time.
I would
there's plenty of...
say the Russians will have -1 on their morale and -2 on any command rolls.
Yes. There are people that are using Team Yankee to do the whole Ukraine situation right now. They're gaming that in real time.
It's been a long, long time since I've read Team Yankee. Isn't that actually where that was set?
Germany, because the Soviets crossed the border into Germany. But
yeah, fair enough.
Team Yankee's a game system by Battlefront based on Flames of War.
Yeah. And it's off the original novel. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Which I never read. I had the comic book version.
Yeah.
Because kid.
It's honestly, if you were to read it, you'd probably read it in 3 or 4 hours. It's not that big a book.
I think there's a few other things I'd reread first.
Yeah. Well, it isn't a bad read. It isn't a genius read. It's not revelatory or anything like that. I enjoyed it for what it was. Understanding, of course, that the world's moved on since then and we know a little bit more, but,
I did watch When the Wind Blows this morning, the animation from 1986, because Raymond Briggs passed away in August, the illustrator, Fungus the Bogeyman, and various other things. But the animated movie is the soundtracks by Bowie and Roger Waters.
Wow.
It's pretty good. Probably a little depressing for like first thing in the morning, to be fair, because it's nuclear attack. But start your day optimistic, right?
Breakfast and nukes.
Well, if I'd been really pessimistic, I would have watched Threads, which is an older version, an older movie, also British, but that is depressing and bleak. Also recommended watching if you're into depressing bleak. post-nuclear movies, but yeah, it's bleak.
Well, I
Excellent movie.
did once start my day with On the Beach.
That is a great book, and yeah, that's pretty much the definition of bleak as well, in a whole different way.
Bleak is just turning up to work, isn't it, Clee?
Yeah, pretty much. And school runs. School lunches are pretty bleak.
Is that when you've eaten a really bad curry the night before and it catches up with you on the way to dropping the kids off? Is that school runs, or is that just a really bad one?
Oh no, I don't have to eat curry for them to give me the shits.
Plenty capable of it.
Ross is rolling his eyes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we had Joe's 4 eldest grandkids over last night, and it didn't take me very long to get sick of that.
Grant asks in chat, are there any upbeat post-nuclear movies? I Am Legend?
Idiocracy. I don't know if that was post-nuke though, just post-collapse or inevitable decline.
The Matrix?
Yeah, maybe. A Man and His Dog, if you want to go really old school. Wizards, the animation.
Mad Max?
Yes! Absolutely.
Oh no one ever watches that. It's got Mel in it.
Beyond Thunderdome.
Yeah, that was a movie. I get it. They were trying to, capitalize on the popularity of, well, two, I guess, but primarily. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I mean, it wasn't awful.
Well,
It probably wasn't bad.
I think the definition changes minute by minute as you're watching it.
But Fury Road is excellent, so it kind of made up for it.
Is that the new Mad Max movie?
That's the most recent one. Yeah, have you not seen it?
Yeah, no, I did see it. I just realised that the whole thing was a car chase out to some random point until they realised they could turn around and go back.
Yep. That's actually basically it. Really excellent plot, right?
Yeah. I didn't mind the movie, but yeah, when I realised that the whole thing revolved around them just driving out into the wastelands or desert or whatever it was, driving back.
Kind of sums up the working day, really, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's kind of 4 to 5 days a week.
Yep.
God, now I am depressed. I only work a 4-day week, so it's all good. got an award though apparently because we just had our project go live, 3-year project that took six years to reach completion. But anyway, that aside,
bad effort.
That's pretty normal, I think, for IT projects.
Mm-hmm.
But I got a piece of paper apparently at the lunch on Wednesday.
Nice.
I wasn't there for it, but hey.
So a piece of paper other than a napkin.
Yeah, apparently it's a piece of paper. It's the usual corporate rah-rah where they like to, call out individuals for whatever. I like to call them participation awards, but it'll probably come back like me in the behind.
That's right.
So I wonder, if you were given a piece of paper and you weren't there, were you given a piece of paper?
Oh, that's really sage.
Is this along the lines of, did the Pope get a paper cut?
Is this Schrodinger's trophy or something?
Would that have been a papal cut?
Papal cut. Only if he was wearing a cobra.
Oh man. You performed the Cardinals and telling us that one. But I guess when in Rome. I'm trying to see how long we can keep this going. Ross is probably going to have to edit this one. Now I kind of want to see the Pope Mobile in the next Mad Max movie done up. That'd be pretty cool. It's already bulletproof and stuff, so
to a certain size bullet.
You can say that about anything that's bulletproof.
That's right. My 120mm smoothbore Sabo round says you are not bulletproof.
DSDU, discarding Sabbath, depleted uranium, or just
APFS
normal?
DSDU, yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
I'm a piercing, fin stabilizing, discarding Sabo, depleted uranium.
You don't have to worry about catching cancer after getting hit with one of those.
No, but all the maintenance guys do, because everything they've been killed with is nicely irradiated. That's why they tend to use tungsten instead of the DU now, because battlefield cleanup is a thing.
So it's no longer to the winner go the spoils. It's now to the winner goes the cleanup costs.
to the winner goes the lawsuits. Wow. You know how I said tedious? It's tedious. But gee, they look good when they're finished.
90 minutes, 2 colours.
Yeah, not even, because I already had 3 sticks with the red on them. So
It's productive, and no one here minds.
It's soul food. If I couldn't do it, I'd go even more stark raving nuts. That's actually the thing I'm finding about working out of the office is I don't get those mental health breaks. Which means by the time I get home at the end of the day, I'm fried.
So the new role's not work from home?
No, not at all. It's a tiny little company, and there needs to be constant interaction between me and the power engineer. Because I happen to be doing behind the meter microgrid controllers. $250 kilowatt systems.
Utilities companies again, they're everywhere.
Yeah, these kind of things are the kinds of things that actually annoy the utilities companies, because you're giving private individuals the ability to control their own power the way they want to control it.
Yeah, and like those poor people in Colorado who signed that contract saying, you know, you can basically do what you like with our power, and then lo and behold, they did. You wanna change the temperature on your thermostat? No.
Yeah, what we're doing is power resilience solutions, so combined microgrid control, UPS, and generation integration. So.
Well, breaking news: the EU is basically phasing out all sales of all gas-powered vehicles by 2035, I believe.
That date keeps coming up. Almost makes you think that there's something afoot. Some sort of global coordination on it.
Indeed.
I laughed.
They obviously haven't spent any time in California.
No, I laughed when I heard the governor of Maryland announce that same policy and same date. Maryland, 80% of people in the state living under the poverty line.
Yep.
And the 20% that aren't can't get a place in DC.
They'll just legalise golf carts on the motorway, so it'll be fine.
What I want to know is how is the world going to go about sorting out the battery disposal infrastructure?
Can't. Won't.
That is an excellent question. There is, to the best of my knowledge, three companies that are basically working on finding solutions to that.
It's going to become a big problem pretty quickly. It's kind of like the tyre disposal problem. Oh, we'll just stick them in big dumps and hope they don't catch fire.
Yeah, I mean, you've got a bunch of battery tech running around at the moment. The guy I watch, Will Prowse on YouTube, he got some supposedly safe cells. I forget what they were, and did an experiment where he punctured one of those. These things that you're supposed to be able to pierce, and they're perfectly safe. They won't catch fire or anything like that. Well, he pierced one of them all right, and it certainly caught fire. It caught him by surprise how quickly that thing actually burned after it was off venting some rather dubious gases. Then he did the same thing with LiFePO, lithium ferrous phosphate, which is kind of the current consumer standard that hasn't made it into vehicles. Sorry? What was that, sorry?
I think Anne made an agreeing noise with you.
Oh, sorry, my bad. I've trying to work a temporary rig here. Yeah, the LFPs. So he basically punctured one of those, and yeah, it gave off some gas, but it didn't catch fire or anything stupid, which is kind of what it's not supposed to do. But the only major negative with the LFP is that's what I'm using here is they are definitely a little heavier, but you know, don't catch fire is a pretty big plus in my. Well, yeah, they can catch fire, but you've got to try really hard. I mean, look at that Hurricane Ian came through Florida, and somebody had one of their cars out in the rain, and it got damaged. And then by the time they basically got around to get to that, the thing caught fire, and there wasn't enough water to put this thing out. They just couldn't put it out. They didn't have enough materials on hand just to put one car out. So,
and they
lithium
had
ion.
a whole rash of them, like 250 at least that I've heard of.
Yeah, a friend's wife died when she crashed her Tesla into a tree. That didn't end well.
Turns out electric cars don't like being damaged by salt water or trees or anything
strange
else. There was a picture doing the rounds on social media. Oh, look, here's a field full of abandoned electric cars in France that they bought, blah, 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 blah. And of course, the fact checkers quickly got onto it and said, no, in fact, this is not a field full of abandoned electric cars in France. Electric cars are great and all that, but it is a field of abandoned electric cars in China. Not the message to be taking away from the fact checkers. Still see that picture every now and then. This is the last couple of weeks. And yeah, there was a big push on Twitter to censor it because it was misinformation. Not in France, it's in China. Same problem.
Green is not green.
So I understand there's a really big
and these are factors that you have to factor in.
Nevada that is being used. You stick them all in there.
Repurpose the nuclear dumps.
Well, this one isn't being used, so there's no problem.
Russia, I think, is opening up a nuclear power plant that actually uses, as fuel, it uses the spent fuel rods from other nuclear power plants.
Yeah, that's been around a very long time. They've been able to do that for 3 or 4 decades.
I guess they're finally getting around to actually doing something with it. I mean, to me, that actually seems like a good thing. It's like, instead of taking all the stuff that you're going to bury or toss in the ocean or put into concrete and hope that the concrete actually doesn't erode or do anything stupid, actually use it to make more energy.
Yes, except that the byproduct of that is something that's even more radioactive. It doesn't get less, it gets more.
But is there less of it?
There's less of it.
Can we put it in smaller containers? That's okay. I mean, it's pretty bad anyway, so, you know, worse is a relative thing, isn't it?
We'll find out when Russia shuts down their power plant to do a safety check.
Safety check.
Don't they all tend to explode before that happens?
It's because the safety check goes wrong that it explodes.
That's right. That's why Chernobyl happened, isn't it?
Yep.
They were doing a test to see to test their safety procedures.
And they got it wrong. They blew it up.
So what you're saying is that nobody signed off to say that there was a DR exercise run on this particular project before we actually fired the thing up live.
Yep. Disaster recovery involved running away very quickly. My abiding memory from watching that show is the guy that laid out like 25 meals for his cat, then hung himself. It's pretty shocking. We don't talk about the Bhopal incident anymore either. Was that Union Carbide?
I was just thinking about that.
Yeah,
the Tim Finn song, No Fire.
What was that, Matty?
Oh, it was just I hadn't heard of that one referenced outside of the 80s and 80s media.
That was a pretty big deal when it happened. But everybody talks about Chernobyl, but nobody talks about Bhopal. And Union Carbide's a battery company, or is or was a battery company. I don't know. Are they still around?
And it's still unfolding, apparently.
Right. That's not a surprise.
But you're right, no one talks about it anymore. The most recent reporting on it's back in 2018.
Union Carbide got bought by Dow Chemical Company.
Well, that makes it all better. Because Dow have never done anything wrong. What time are you heading off to go and look at those miniatures, Clay?
In about 5 minutes. I've just got to get this last rat done.
It's good that the rats are taking precedence.
And it's
Well, speaking of rats, I'm going to have to sign off and go and deal to some actual real-life rats. I've just built some rat bombs, so
Nice.
going to go deploy them.
It's
Going to
really,
go and deploy them.
really, really wonderful to hear from you, James. And I'm glad it's all
Oh,
going
fun as
well.
well, you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just drop it in out, catch up on what you're doing. Let us know how the Napoleonics turn out. No doubt you'll post them in the Demon World channel or something.
That's very unlikely, but I have posted stuff to my Facebook page, so
Okay, awesome.
it's all been French up to this point. This is my first foray into the English, so I got sick of painting things blue.
The colours. Well, called the American Civil War. Painting a lot of grey there, so
Yeah.
you know.
Blue and grey. I do have epic scale civil. Actually, I've got 28mm as well. But yeah, there's another project. Yeah, how do you tell the Confederate units from the Union units? The Confederate units don't have any boots on.
Zing. When I heard homemade rat bombs, I thought, ooh, little claymores.
Nothing that exciting. Peanut butter and baking soda.
Oh, really? So they heat the peanut butter and the baking soda and they explode.
Basically, yeah. The baking soda reacts with the acids in their stomachs. This applies to rats, mice, and other vermin, and they have an inability to fart or burp or expel gas in any way. So basically, yeah, it just kills them without poison. And other animals and stuff can basically, pick the carcasses, and if they come across the peanut butter and baking soda, the worst that's going to happen is they might get a little upset. But
yeah, can't imagine it's a painless death, but
I have no F's to give when it comes to them. So
fair enough.
The alternative is to use rat poison, and that usually involves them eating it and then bleeding out everywhere.
That's
and then
that's not a
if your
painless
pet
death
decides
either.
to eat the carcasses or other animals, then they also get doses of the poison as well. So,
I get it. I get it. But if
sorry, I'm ranting.
No, but what do you do? Like high voltage rat traps? What could possibly go wrong there?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, there is no good solution, but you just got to do what you got to do.
Unless you're going to sit out there with a 22
For an arm.
and What was that, Clay?
Recruit them for an army?
Yeah, this is right. Absolutely. Offer them 3 square meals and a roof over their head. They'll sign up. $50 a month.
It's the coyotes that actually we're a little more concerned about. There's a pack of them roaming around somewhere. My Labrador just wants to go out and play with them.
That's not going to end well.
It's like, no, you won't be playing with them. If they come within visual distance, then there will be a reckoning. But
So you can hear them.
such as the price of living rural, it is what it is.
Yep.
Also, the price of living in LA.
That's a
No,
whole different
serious.
kind of coyotes.
No, I mean the canine types as well. They have packs of them roaming the streets. Ever since COVID started and people started being forced to stay home in LA. Packs of coyotes taking over.
Is it coyotes or just wild dogs, feral dogs?
Yeah.
Because I'm actually not sure whether I'd rather have the coyotes. At least they're a known variable in terms of behaviour and stuff. But
Man, rat done. I'm off.
All right.
Have a good
Enjoy.
weekend.
all right, signing off.
Let us
You
know
guys
what
back on
you
toast?
find, Clee, because, yeah, like I said, if there's anything decent for the Lord of the Rings stuff, I'll fling you some money.
We'll do. I'll let you know.
Thanks, man. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Guys, dude. Have a
See
good
ya.
one.
That's a it's kind of a sobering thing, Matty. Knowing that he's going to pick the bones out of a deceased estate.
Yeah, I always found those a bit disappointing when I was at the salvos.
But,
Families tend to think that their loved one's stuff is all fantastic and great. And usually people don't want to buy a chair that someone has obviously died in.
You can tell that from the staining on the fabric.
Yeah.
Oh dear, oh dear. Just no.
Yeah.
Just no.
We're always under instruction to accept anything from a deceased
Deceased
estate,
estate,
regardless of the quality of it. Which actually happened a fair bit because there's a retirement village, 50 metres up the road.
Yeah. Oh wow, we've got all of this stuff. What are we going to do with it? Let's take it down to the salvos and make them dispose of it.
Yeah, that's what it boiled down to, basically.
Yeah. Oh, what's happened there? Skinned.
I've been having that problem a bit, even on my wet palette, and rehydrating it more than normal.
Well,
It's just been so damned hot.
33, yeah.
And Grant says you've managed to raise the bar on dad jokes today. Well, that means you just have to come up with something even better.
Yeah.
To sign off on. You got 10 minutes.
Our traditional closeout dad joke session. We've raised the bar.
Oh, he's got something prepared. That's good.
Oof. So many mixed metaphors, so little time.
Oh, look out.
What's wrong?
Grant's got a joke and he's written a poem in your honour. Authors.
Oh, and I haven't heard back from the editor yet, Grant. She's working on it.
I'm just thinking about how awful these guys would be to paint if they were clothed as rabble, not wearing uniforms.
Oh. Oh. Well, the only reason you retain any kind of will to live at all is that you just get a process going and you just churn through it. So each one of these sticks is like 10 guys, right?
Mm.
So I think I calculated along the way, just with the Napoleonic stuff, I've got 500 of these sticks to do.
Jesus.
I may or may not have gone overboard purchasing that stuff. It isn't difficult work, it's just tedious.
Mm.
So, you know, it's one of those things, if you just want to turn your brain off and just push paint around, you know, it's not a bad thing. And I reckon I'll probably get those last 2 sticks done just as time runs out. And then I've got a mad scramble because I haven't packed and we're going away after lunch.
Oh, lucky you.
We could Phillip Island just because it's not wet enough in Rowville. We want to go somewhere wetter.
Yeah, I was going to say, didn't Phillip Island sink?
Yeah, no, it's been eating a lot of vegetables, so it floats back to the surface.
So you're taking the bikes, or?
No, God, no. Taking the dogs.
Well, what's the point of going to Phillip Island then if you're not going to take the bikes?
Yeah.
It's like going to Bathurst.
And walking.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we're not going near the racetrack anyway. Just going down to the beach. Staying at a house down on the beach for a week.
I guess my mental image of Phillip Island is that the racetrack ran around the shore.
Yeah. Yeah. There's a turn on the Phillip Island racetrack called Siberia. It got its name because of how damn cold it is.
Well, that's what happens when you go south.
Yeah. It people love it. People come from everywhere to watch races at it. It's not a patch on all of the modern facilities in Europe or anything like that. It's really crude and basic. But it does produce good racing. And having ridden round it, it's very enjoyable to ride around.
Fair enough.
But no, that's not the object of this exercise. The object of this exercise is to just leave daily life behind for a little while. What the fuck did I do there?
Well, I think I said it before, change is as good as a holiday.
Absolutely, you did. It was in reference to your critical mass. But I haven't done a damn thing towards going away. So I've got to pack clothes, I've got to pack gear, I've got to sort out the car, I've got to pack Willow's crate. You know, it's like a couple of hours of absolute mayhem approaching. So I'm not going to finish these.
No. Grant wants to know if those two guys are carrying pikes.
They are technically yes, but in actual fact they're just banner poles.
Yeah.
Napoleonics is very famous for its regimental colours and flags and things like that. So these guys will be carrying huge flags, which they happily supply in the box with the figures. So you just cut them out and glue them on, and they look wonderful.
So you're going to spend the next 3 hours packing up your car to go on a trip.
Mm-hmm.
When are you coming back? Sunday?
Next Friday morning.
So. So you're having a week away?
Yeah.
Okay. I was going to say it's a bit bloody much effort for
a long weekend. Yeah, absolutely. No, we're going away for a week. So, but I will be back next Friday. So the live stream will continue as usual.
And works okay with this?
Yeah, absolutely. That was part of the deal of accepting the job. I said, I'll accept the job, but I've already got a week at Phillip Island booked. I'll take it without pay. And he went, no, don't be silly. We'll pay you. So my leave will go negative, but that's okay. So I said, we've got a holiday booked this week, meaning next week, and 2 weeks in at the end of Feb next year. And they went, sure, no problem.
Well, that's pretty good.
Again, like there's 4 full-time employees, including the boss. So it's tiny. So it's about, it's not, there's no corporate bullshit in the way. It's just, I've employed you to do a job. I want you to do a job. I'm now enabling you to do that job.
Well, it's always nice when that gets happening.
Yeah, but on the other hand, it's a tiny little company, which means everybody has to do everything. So there will be points in time where the work will be ridiculous. You just have to accept that. You know, it's double-edged sword. But it's so nice not to have to deal with corporate bullshit. You know, I took a wireless keyboard and mouse in with me to use. And it's like, I don't have to have an argument with somebody about the fact that I'm plugging in something that isn't company approved. You know?
All right, it's joke time.
Joke time. We are on the final stretch.
Just waiting on you, Grant. Sometimes I like to put a sign up on the back of my car. Honk if you think I'm sexy. Then not take off whenever traffic lights change. I feel like I've seen that bumper sticker before.
Mm-hmm.
Or is that the poem? That was not the poem.
Mm.
It could have fooled me. It rhymes.
What does?
There was painting at the table, for the word had passed around. Dan had bought a mini without regret the other day. It had joined the unpainted masses, which was worth £1,000, and a shout of "Stop buying more minis!" had come unwelcome to the fray. An excerpt from the Dan from Up Shit River. Classic.
A day in the life.
I thought it was pretty clever,
It
actually.
is. It's very, very good. Funny because it's true. I had stuff roll in yesterday. She's like, I thought you'd stopped buying stuff. And I'm like, I pre-ordered this months ago. I wonder how long before that excuse doesn't wear anymore. So here we go. Two colours. Two colours, well...
2 couplers on 60 figures.
1.6 and it's 80. Let's not sell it
Oh,
short.
it is. Indeed. I only saw... I can't even count.
Yeah, two colours on 80 figures.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that in 2 hours.
But it's really good. You get the skin tones done. You get the shakos done. You get the rifles done, and you wash them, and then it's picking out highlights and everything like that. And they come out really spectacularly. But it is a process, and it does take a while. So I think it's 2 or 3 days to do a full unit. So yeah. And this represents one sprue, minus the cannon and minus the leader. You also get 2 sticks of 95th rifles on it, which I'm just holding over, and I'll do all of those at the same time. So yeah, it's about 3 weeks work for a box. Just 3 full sprues.
What's the price point on a box?
Depends on how you buy it. If you buy them individually, they range between sort of $17 and $20. and if you buy them as a part of the starter sets, the price. Oh, hang on. No, I'm thinking price per sprue. So if the boxes are $60 or $65 or something like that. So per sprue, you're looking at $20-something. But if you buy the starter sets are now $240, and they've got 12 sprues in them. I think that's right. So I think the price per sprue comes down to sort of somewhere between $12 and $16, depending on what's in the box. So 100 figures for about somewhere between $15 and $20.
I guess that's not bad.
Yeah. It's okay. You know, it's you can't do that in lead. There's just no way.
No, definitely not.
Well, there we are.
Indeed. Have a damn fine weekend. Have a damn fine week.
Yeah. The next couple of hours are going to be a bit frantic, but after that, it'll be chill city. I hope you guys have a good one too. So, really, really good live stream today. It was good that James dropped in, and Clee, and good fun. I enjoyed it.
Excellent.
Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week.
See you next week.